everyone, I'm Asia Dang, and thank you so much for tuning in to my channel today. Since it is January 16th, I believe, that means I redid my bi-monthly budget. You guys saw me kind of struggle through my very first budget earlier in the month, and I wanted to share with you the second half of my January budget, just because one, you all gave me a lot of really good tips and advice in order to help improve my budget, and two, I guess wanted to show you guys what the last half of my month usually entails. Honestly, this is my second time doing this budget because I'll explain to you guys more in depth, but I definitely just incurred a very, very heavy expense. So unfortunately, I did have to redo my budget today, and it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart, but you will see more of that later. A couple things I wanted to share with you. Let me get my wallet, actually. Looky. In my last budget, or my first budget, I should say, I started using the envelope system. And basically, after you do your budget, you take out cash and you carry around envelopes in order to keep everything organized. For me, I found that this system didn't really work too well. It was bulky, it was kind of all over the place. This is just leftover beauty and entertainment money, so I'm just going to keep this in the envelopes. But for things like pets and groceries that I carry around with me just in case I have to pick something up, I decided to streamline everything, and I kind of just started using bobby pins. A lot of you guys sent me links about clips I could buy and stuff, but honestly, I didn't really want to spend any more money on it, and these bobby pins do the trick. So I have my gas money, which has a little sticky note on it just because you don't really need a bobby pin for $120. And then I have my pet and my grocery list. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I find that it to be much easier than carrying around an envelope system, but we all have our ways. Two, I actually started really getting into my rebates and making sure I got cash back on everything. Some other things that I learned, a lot of you advised me to go to Costco. I did, and I have to admit I wasn't super into it. I think I wasted a lot of time and money there. It's just Brian and I'm sure for a family of 4 or just a family in general, Costco would be really beneficial, but for me, it was just the sizes were too big. I really hate wasting food. And plus, if you are really cautious about the ingredients you put into your body, I definitely wouldn't recommend Costco. I spent 2 hours going up and down the aisles looking at the ingredients list, and while Costco is a good deal, it's not necessarily the healthiest deal if you have health issues or want to be a little bit more health conscious. Maybe I can do a video about really healthy things you can get from Costco and Trader Joe's, so you don't have to waste your time going through labels. I thought that might be a good idea, but let me know if you would like to see a video like that from me. But I did get to Albies. A lot of you guys in the Los Angeles area suggested I go to Albies. It's something that I never ever heard of before you guys mentioned it to me, so I really appreciate all your advice and your tips. This was my original bi-monthly budget, but since I had to redo it, I decided it would actually be easier for me to do it on an Excel spreadsheet. My bi-monthly budget, and then what I actually end up spending, and then any gains or losses in my budget, and then I can compare the two, and I don't know, I just think that this is probably an easier way to do your budget if you prefer, but I also do like writing it in my planner just because I do carry my planner around with me all the time. So it's just a good way to check on things to make sure that everything is going well. Let us begin. For the second half of the month, I earned $8,428. That is with my taxes taken out, with adding 3% to my other accounts that I want to grow. So with all of that done, I have $8,428 left. So as always, let's start off with my every month expenses. So for the first half of the month, I actually had most of my monthly expenses due, so I'm glad that's out of the way. But for this month, I have my car insurance, which is $166. It is a great policy, and car insurance is something that I don't want to F around with. I hear radio ads about car insurance policies that are like $50 a month, and I'm thinking, okay, but you probably don't have any coverage, so I'm good with that. Another thing is Adobe Premiere. I live off Adobe Premiere. That is how I edit these videos. That is $29.99, so $30 a month. The 2 monthly expenses that I incur every month that I may actually get rid of next month is for my gym membership, which is $200. And I've been thinking about getting rid of it for a while now because I don't feel like I go enough to warrant paying $200. And then the other one is called Lola. Guys, cover your ears because we're going to talk about lady things. Lola, if you guys don't know, is a tampon delivery service. They deliver organic tampons right to your door. It is $9 a month. I really like them because one, they're organic and you don't really want to put anything nasty physically into your body. And two, I like that it comes right to your door so I'm not always scrambling. And three, I like that they are like the small portable ones. One of you guys in the last video suggested that I use a Diva cup. I'm not 100% sure I'm ready to make that kind of move. And then of course I have my car payment. You guys know I am aggressively trying to attack my car loan so I can then start to add to my student loans, which is what really got me inspired to budget. Through all this is said, I am paying $2,000 for my car payment for the last half of the month. So total of January, I've contributed $3,000 to my car payment. By the end of February or early March, I will have paid off my car and then I can get to my student loans. So that is that. Now let's get to the beauty things, and this is what really kind of put my budget into a tizzy, where I had to redo it. First thing first is lashes. I know that my beauty expenses is a point of contention for a lot of you, but I'm not willing to give up my lash expense. That's $85 including tip, so that's something I can work around. Another thing that really was an unexpected expense that kind of screwed me, and the last half of the month was my dentist appointment. I have to get a mouth orthotic because basically, long story short, I'm having issues with my jaw, and it's getting so bad that I'm actually getting lockjaw. And I've been dealing with clicking in my jaw for a really, really long time, but now that it's starting to lock, that is a problem. I had to pay out of pocket, and that expense was $1,775. Again, this was not an expected expense. I didn't think I would have to pay that this month, but luckily, since I did budget last month and I came under budget, I had money to pay for that. But it is what it is. It's something that has to be done, especially because I did suffer juvenile arthritis when I was younger. So when it deals with something in my joints, it's something that I need to take care of. Right now with my health insurance, we are trying to decide if this is covered, because that would be fantastic. But my health insurance plan isn't really that good with dental. The only lifesaver that hopefully they will pass is that because it is a joint issue, it is actually a health insurance claim, not a dental claim. So hopefully the forms are being submitted right now, and in February I will get that money back and it won't be that big of a deal. Okay, now let's get to merchandise. I didn't spend anything in the beginning of the half, so I still have that money reserved that I saved from the beginning half for my merchandise. A lot of you asked why I'm doing merchandise, and the answer is, well, in order to pay off all your stuff, not only do you need to budget, but you also need to make more money. So this is my attempt at making more money. Unfortunately for me, I also have to spend money in order to make money. So we'll see once my merchandise comes out if it is in fact worth me continuing to do this. I'm hoping it does really well, because with every purchase, I'm also donating proceeds to an organization that is really close to my heart. So even though I'm doing this to get more money, it's also a really great way for me to contribute back to the community. So that being said, let's just add this up, 2,405. Okay, so with my normal monthly expenses, with my beauty expenses, and my merch expense, I'm already down to $998. Luckily, I cut a lot of everyday expenses down massively, so I still come under budget. Gas, $20 normally. For the second half of January, I budgeted $30 for laundry. Parking, $50, Lyft, $50. I do have a lot of events I need to go to this month. I don't know what the parking situation is, so I budgeted $50 for each. That is massively cut down from the budgets of earlier this month, which I budgeted $160 for both and barely hit 40. So I think I'm good with my budget. Entertainment. A lot of you guys suggested that we look into Movie Pass. I totally agree with you. I think that would be very, very beneficial for us. Unfortunately, because of my dentist expense, I was planning to budget that into my budget for the end of this month, but I'm just gonna wait till February, and if Brian wants to go to the movies before then, he can pay for us. I still put aside $50 for that. For me, it's just like another cushion just in case something happens. I don't think that we're really gonna do anything though. Car wash, $5. Dining out. You guys are going to be very, very proud of me. The first 2 weeks of January, I budgeted for $200, and the last 2 weeks of January, I budgeted for $0. So basically, I told Brian, since I'm doing the budgeting for grocery shopping, and since I'm paying for the groceries and making the meal plans, then if he wants to get anything extra, or if he wants to go out to dinner and treat me, then he's gonna pay for it. That's our deal. Speaking of groceries, last month or earlier this month, you guys, I had a huge budget of $400. I didn't know that was a lot, to be honest, because I just never paid attention to it. You guys all agreed that it was a lot. For this month, I budgeted $200. I think I can easily do that. The thing that I learned, which may be very obvious, and which is very obvious, is you have to meal plan and meal prep. Earlier this month, I kind of half-assed it and didn't really go that well, but this month, Sunday, I spent all day grocery shopping and meal prepping. Vegan, by the way, I did all vegan meal prep. So I know that we are definitely going to stay under budget for groceries because I'm committed to actually doing this correctly. I had 3 really good meals, a vegan club sandwich, a bean chili, which is really good with homemade cashew sour cream, a peri-peri marinated tofu with quinoa and broccoli. Those were really good. My fails though was a tomato gazpacho, which looks and tastes more like a salsa, and my falafels just did not work. They're more like hummus now. They weren't, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I had some successes and I had some failures. And then finally for the dogs, I budgeted $200. Earlier this month, I actually went over my budget of $200 because good old Luke went back into the vet office. He is like my trouble kid. Luckily, we do have dog insurance, so I will get that money back. I do have to buy them Bravecta this month, which is their flea medication. I cleaned the carpet because of the dog, so I put that into an expense too. I rented a rug cleaner from Petco, which actually did really well. It was $40, so that was good. And then I'm going to start making their food. And I always made their food, but now I'm going to make it more consistently because the food that we feed our dogs is very, very expensive. For me, the dog food industry is really shady. There is a lot of crap in our dog food that's basically like feeding them McDonald's every single day for 2 to 3 meals every day. So that's why we chose to go with the more expensive raw food route. $30 a bag, and they go through that bag in 2 days. So it definitely did add up. Now I do make their own food more consistently, and I just lump it into my meal prepping days, and it's easier that way. Okay, so after all is said and done, I have a leftover amount of $393 for the month. Not as big of a cushion as I had earlier this month, but it is okay. I still came under budget, and then hopefully my health insurance claim goes through and I will receive some of my dental expenses back from that. Woo! I did have a question that I wanted to pitch for you guys. I did call Chase about my $25 monthly fee that I get every month at the beginning of the month. I have a premium something plan. Basically, it just gives me free checks. That's the only thing that I use. So I'm thinking of just completely downgrading my accounts to get the free account. But I also wanted to know what your opinion on credit unions was. I had a credit union when I went to USC because it was the USC credit union, and I liked it then, but after I graduated, I found it pretty inconvenient to find a credit union around me when I kept on moving, and also like taking out money and stuff in like shady ATM areas, which is why I moved to Chase in the first place. But I am considering going back to a credit union, or at least putting a couple accounts into a credit union. But what are your opinions on credit unions? And I don't know, would you advise it for someone? Do you guys really want to see me do this every month? Because essentially it's the same thing as this month. I may get my shit together more and be able to condense my expenses more, but ultimately it is the same every month. Or do you want me to just kind of pop up every couple months, every 3 months, or every time I pay off something to give you like an overall update on my financial life? What do you guys want to see? I'm Asia Dang. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the advice that you have given me in my last video, and I feel like we have this really great community of voices who really want to see each other succeed. There are a couple assholes out there, but not everyone's like that, so I do appreciate it, and let's continue the conversation. I'm Asia Dang. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.